Hello out there, I'm the oldest nerd. Today's episode, Rumors, Bargains, and Lies, is a very good episode of Deep Space Nine. It's not Deep Space Nine, it's Babylon 5, has a number in it. Hello out there, I'm the oldest nerd. We're talking today about Babylon 5, their episode, Rumors, Bargains, and Lies. Before we get into that, there's something that's been on my mind lately, and I'd like to talk to you about it. I'm preaching to the choir, really, because I really do appreciate those of you who have been watching these videos and those who have subscribed. You're absolutely the best, and it makes doing this worth something. However, I have seen relatively little growth in this channel in quite some time. Now, part of that, I imagine, has to do with the fact that we don't have a lot of new content. That is to say, new Star Trek episodes or new Doctor Who episodes. And we have, of course, we have Andor coming up, and I have high hopes for that. But my viewer count has been kind of low, around 1,000 a month, which is a little lower than it ought to be, and no growth in subscribers at all, which makes it difficult for me to move the channel along. I don't know why. I think I see people that don't do any better job than I do with great big numbers, and I have looked at some of the instructional videos on how we're supposed to do this, and much of them contradict each other, and those that don't generally don't apply to the kind of material we do here. So I was watching the Oscars this weekend, and I realized what I'm missing to make this a big thing. I need to bring in dancers. Because, I mean, on an awards show where the idea of it is to give out awards and to talk about movies, they bring in dancers, and they have nothing to do with the show or with anything else. And then they complain that it goes overtime every year, and it was over like 15 minutes this year, and there were at least 30 minutes of dancing routines that had nothing to do with the rest of the show. So I'm thinking that probably what I should do is do longer videos and have every couple of minutes a dance act come in. So I'm going to be working on that in future episodes of this channel. Meanwhile, we have in Babylon 5 an interesting way that psychology works. Captain Sheridan has decided that he is not going to be able to convince the unaligned worlds to help go against this new enemy, because nobody has seen them, and they wouldn't believe that they're a threat unless they're actually being attacked by it, and by then it would be too late. So he decides to make up a big secret and see how that works. Meantime, Delenn has her own problems in that she is trying to align herself with her nemesis from the Warrior Caste to try and figure out a way that they can stop the fighting on Minbar. And of course, it does not go even without the skullduggery on their own side. There is somebody on the Warrior Caste that's trying to murder the leader there, and someone on the religious caste who's trying to kill all of them. And all of this to prevent what they expect would be a call for surrender from their side of the war. And of course, it's more complicated than that. It is something that, Delenn is trying to work out through the best of her diplomatic acumen. And so it is a very tightly written, a very edge of your seat suspenseful episode, and tells you a lot about the Minbari and the Centauri and the non-aligned worlds, and that while they all claim to be different, think different, they don't really. They work just like humans do. Of course, it's a show written by humans, but I think that doing this shows that there are some commonalities that people don't stop and think. about, and any kind of opposing sides. Think the other side is so different, but they really aren't. They're really very much the same, and can be, shall we say, manipulated the same. And so that's where this episode comes from. It's enjoyable. I recommend it to you. Good acting job here by Bill Mumy, who gets a bigger part than he usually gets in these episodes. We hadn't seen Mollari in quite a few episodes. He was in this one and had a few scenes. And we get to see Sheridan living up to his reputation of being a great leader. So all of these things work together in this episode, and I recommend it to you. In the meantime, as always, thank you very much for viewing, and tell your friends, come on down. Until then, don't go far.